welcome to every single person that's here. Listen, guys, real quick in the chat box, just so that I kind of know a little bit about maybe if people really are understanding what it is that we're going on here. I just want everyone to drop. If you're someone in the school that really knows, and it's someone that it's not necessarily where it's like, you know what, I might, no, someone that really knows that you're about to go 6 figures in trading, right? Specifically trading, you're about to have a 6-figure plus trading account, whether it's 7 figures, 8 figures. I want you to drop in the chat box real quick. I am. Right? Drop in the chat box real quick. I am, because I know this is a building call and all this kind of stuff, but the reality of it is, I just want to see who's really actually serious about the fact that they gonna get this in trading. Like they gonna get this money, man. I see everyone. I see everyone dropping it. Everyone's ready. Everyone's about to get this money in trading. And it's crazy because I look at trading, I look at the power of it, and I realize that every single person on this call, right? Well, not every, like, let's be real. I'm gonna be real. Not every single person on this call is going to hit 6 figures in trading, but every single person can, right? The reason that not every single person is going to is because not every single person is gonna stay the course. Not every single person is gonna stay plugged in, right? But the reality of it is that I know every single person on the call like has the potential and is about to do it. Every single person that says I am in the chat, that's actually gonna execute. Yo, everyone's gonna make money. Everyone's gonna make money. The question isn't if, the question is simply a matter of when, right? And we understand when we're speaking about building and all this kind of stuff, that the real question is, okay, cool, yeah, you're gonna make 6 figures, but my question is, how many people are you gonna position to also make 6 figures with you? Because sometimes we're in this business and we're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make 6 figures in trading, and then we forget about the fact that, hold up, like someone put us onto the business. Like Yasin put me onto the business. Like, bro, like if it wasn't for him inviting me, how could I even, for example, go 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures in a trading account, right? Like how could I make any money trading? It's like, wow. Like sometimes when we understand that, we realize that, hold up, okay, cool. So when it comes down to this building thing, it's really serious. Like as in, it's actually, I want every single person to write them in the chat box real quick. It's bigger than me, right? Write them in the chat box real quick. It's bigger than me, because I want every single person to understand that, listen, when it comes down to the building aspects of things, it's bigger than you, man. Like for real. Yeah, cool, you know, you're gonna make 6 figures, right? But how many people are you gonna help make 6 figures? Because yo, you gotta understand, yeah, money is amazing. And yeah, you're gonna be able to hit your goals through money, and you're gonna be able to travel, and you're gonna be able to do this, and you're gonna be able to do that. But the reality of it is that, yo, you can make 100 figures in trading, I don't care. But realistically, you get to a point where it's like, okay, cool, like what kind of necessarily value have I kind of added to the world, right? How have I actually helped someone, right? How have I helped someone position to, imagine you're the only one that's made 6 figures. You're the only one in your circle. Well, obviously, like you're part of the team and that kind of stuff. You're gonna have other people in the team already, but it's like, you haven't necessarily helped anyone. It's like, it's cool and stuff, it's all good. But like, you can imagine the feeling when someone's introduced someone to the business and they're like, right, you know what, I just made 2,500 in a week. Right? I just made 2,500 off one trade, and that person, yo, it's crazy. Oh, I just made 10,000, and it's like, wow, like it really, that kind of feeling right there is something that we call fulfillment. That's that feeling that you get deep, like inside. When you get someone messaging you like, oh man, listen, like, oh, man, like, this is crazy, man. Like, thank you so much. Those kind of messages right there. Like, if you haven't actually had one of those messages yet, trust you when I say, like, they're going to come simply just by you introducing people to their business and really building it, which is obviously what the focus of this course is. I know every single person here is really hungry to build a business. I know some people, I understand, sometimes it's like, well, we're like, oh man, you know what? I haven't made the money yet. Like, I haven't necessarily had the success in trading yet. Oh man, like I don't know if I can build a business yet, or all this kind of stuff. Like, one thing we have to understand is this, right? We all understand, cool, that we're going 6 figures, you're going 7 figures, like all this kind of stuff, right? But it's like, okay, cool. If we understand that, then why wouldn't we position someone else to actually learn with us? Why wouldn't we position someone now? Like, for example, it's like, cool, some people will wait till they hit 6 figures. Oh man, yeah, I've hit 6 figures now. Now I'm gonna go ahead and help people. Or now I'm gonna go, yo, listen, but what about the fact that you could have, for example, let me go ahead and one second. I think it was me now. Okay, cool. Like, as in, like, you could literally, whilst you were hitting 6 figures, someone else could hit 6 figures with you, right? So the reason I really wanted to speak about this, just to kind of set the tone, so that we really all understand kind of where we're taking this thing. We really all understand the fact that, yeah, you've got just under 300,000 customers within the platform right now that are on their journey to go ahead and smash 6 figures. But the reality of it is, okay, cool. By the end of the year, we're gonna have 1 million. How many of those 1 million are going to be someone that you've directly benefited? Someone that you've directly maybe introduced to the business, or in your team, or because of you, they've been able to go ahead and see this information. Because it's crazy how many people right now don't have access to this. Like, we're gonna get into the application of things. We're gonna get into all this kind of stuff. But I really just wanted to help every single person understand. And I know sometimes, again, like not necessarily having like 6 figures in your training account, you're thinking, man, like, as in, I'm not so focused on the helping people aspect. Like, I'm not really seeing this. Like, some people, they don't even understand that it's bigger than me, man. And that's fine. That's fine, because when I first started, I didn't necessarily understand that it was bigger than me. When Jazz first started, he didn't necessarily understand that it was bigger than him. When Marion first started, she didn't necessarily understand that it was bigger than her. When Kieran first started, no one necessarily understood that it was bigger than them when they first started, right? But what they realized, hold up, okay, cool. As I build this business, and as I, for example, hit Platinum 600, as I, for example, hit Platinum 1000, as I, for example, hit Platinum 25, like whatever it is, now I've got more money to invest into my trading account, right? Which is going to help me go into that journey. And then the crazy thing about it is that same person that was only thinking from a selfish intent, which it's not selfish, by the way, but that same person that was thinking, cool, you know what, I'm going to build a business for that purpose. Now, all of a sudden, just because they've done it anyway, they've gone BT1000, they've gone B1000, they've got some people in their team who are also hitting 6 figures with them. And it's like, damn, man. It's like, damn, we got over 100 people on the call. Welcome to every single person. But it's like, damn, this stuff is powerful, guys. This stuff is powerful. Like, I just really wanted to stress that because I'm just feeling super fired up right now. I'm feeling super grateful. Guys, like, real quick, just drop in the chat box. I am grateful because I feel like it's such a blessing what we actually have here, man. And there's people right now who are literally praying for what we have. There's people right now who are praying. They're praying, right? They're praying every single day. Oh man, if only I could have something that could actually help me. It's crazy, man. But anyways, moving on from that point. Right, moving on from that point. I really want to get real in this square. I really want to add some kind of value that's really going to help every single person elevate in the business. Right, help every single person elevate. And it's like just so I can kind of gauge the audience to understand. Is there anyone in this call who maybe feels like, you know what, like I want to build a business and I really want to do this and that kind of stuff, but maybe I've spoken to some of the people that I know and maybe they're not necessarily serious, or maybe they haven't necessarily said yes or this or that or that. If that's you and it's kind of like, oh man, like where do I go next? Like, can I really build a business? Like, how can I build a business? Or even if it's not that, if you're just like, man, if I could just have some extra tips on how to do it, just drop a 1. We're gonna go through the numbers now. Drop a 1 in the chat box. Real quick. Jeez. Let's go. Listen, I'm about to give you guys some value. I'm about to give you guys some value because I feel like sometimes we've gone through the people that we know. We've gone through the people that we've spoken to. I remember when I got started in a business, guys, just to put this into perspective, right? Just to put this into perspective, like, I'm going to just keep it real with every single person in this school. Right? When I first got started in the industry of network marketing and stuff, it was like in my first week, I believe we exported around about 15 people to the business personally. And like, these are, for example, the people that I knew and all that kind of stuff. And like, all of them got started and they canceled the same exact day. Now, I think there was maybe 3 of them that didn't get started at all. But every single one of them, they just gave up. They gave up on themselves the same day. They got started, they gave up on themselves the same day. It's crazy because like some of us, we've been in this business and we've spoken to maybe 5 people, or we've spoken to maybe 10 people, or we've spoken to maybe 15 people, and maybe they haven't even got started yet, right? Imagine in your first week of being in network marketing and you get 12 people started in your gas. And every single one of them, yo, I remember one of my friends, he called me, he's like, yo, listen, I spoke to my dad. Yo, he basically told me that it's a scam. You shouldn't do it. Yo, you need to get out. He was telling me. And this is someone that was like, I was close to as well. And it was like, damn, this stuff's crazy. It's like, shit. I don't know. I don't know if that really puts into perspective the fact that sometimes it's like, yo, man, like, sometimes we think, how comes I haven't got the results yet? And it's because maybe we haven't spoken to enough people. But how can we speak to more people? I'm going to speak about the practical applications of things, right? Because the reality of it is that as I started to build more and as I started to speak to more people that I didn't necessarily know, that's when some more people actually started to get involved, right? So one of the tips that I'm going to give, right? Because sometimes, again, we have these people that we haven't spoken to for a long time, right? Sometimes you think, oh, I've spoken to everyone. But in reality, there's people on our list that we have never spoken to that were like, you know what? I haven't spoken to this guy for a year though. I can't speak to him, right? You're jumping to if you have someone on your list like that. Like you have someone that maybe, you know what, I don't know how to approach him. I don't know how to actually, I don't know, man. Like, damn, like, what am I supposed to say? Because if I just call him up and I'm like, yo, listen, what are you doing tomorrow? It's going to be like, gee, like, what do you mean what am I doing tomorrow? Like, why do you want to know? Like, you know, the ones there, right? There was a lot of people on my list that was like that. But one thing that I understood was that when we go ahead and approach that person, some people, what they'll do is they'll call that person they haven't spoken to for a year. And they'll be like, yo, like, do you want to make money? Don't do that, right? I did something similar in the start, and it didn't really work, right? What I recommend, right, is when, for example, you're inviting someone that you haven't spoken to for a long time, right? You got to understand that when you pick up the phone, they're thinking, what does this person want? Some people, they like to approach things from an inauthentic perspective. In fact, guys, like real quick, just write in the chat box, authenticity, right? Authentic. Like we need to keep things authentic, right? Let's keep things 100% real at all times, right? There's no need to call and be like, hey man, how you doing? Yeah. Oh, cool, man. Yeah. Oh, I hear that, man. Like, as in like, oh, so, yeah, like, what's the weather like? What's the weather like in Birmingham? Oh, what's the weather like? All of this, this whole time they're thinking, gee, like, what do you want? When someone hits me up on that kind of vibe, and I don't necessarily know them like that, I'm thinking like, what do you want? Like, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes people mess with me on Instagram, you know, the people that are trying to sell you something or whatever, and they just say hello or whatever. I'm just like, how may I help? Like, straight, just direct, because I'm like, yo, let's get to the point, like, keep it real, keep it authentic, right? And it's the same thing that a lot of people are thinking when you go ahead and pick up the phone and start just speaking to someone a random one, right? So how about if instead, we get straight to the point, not necessarily saying, oh, hey, like, do you want to make money? But imagine if you call someone, and obviously at first you find out if they're all right and if they're alive. That's just common courtesy, right? Yo, like, how you doing? You okay? Yeah, I'm good, man. What about you? Yo, listen, I'm amazing, man. I know it's been ages. I know we haven't spoken I hope you haven't spoken like forever, so this probably seems random, but I actually just came across something massive that I needed to show you. But listen, before I even do, like, let's actually catch up because we haven't spoken in ages. So imagine, all right, cool. Let's be real. If someone said that to you, if someone calls you that you haven't spoken to in a year, and you at least had some kind of liking for them, write a 3 in the chat if you would actually feel a bit like, yeah, cool, like I can actually speak to this person. Like, it's not seeming weird or anything. It's like, it's actually making sense. Like, the conversation is flowing. Why? Because they've kept it authentic. People need to stop. They might. I'm pretty sure I blocked it. I don't know. People are hacking the Zoom, man. Damn. How do I? All right, cool. I found it. I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm confused right now. I don't know how people unmute their mic or spotlight myself. Hold up. Guys, wait. How do I spotlight myself right now? I don't know how to do that. All right. Yeah. Boom. Spotlight video. Yeah. How do I make sure everyone's muted? I did that though, son. I did that. Like, as in everyone. All right, cool. Boom. We got it. Okay, cool. Listen, minor technical difficulties. It's fine. So, anyways, right. Basically, what I was about to say. Oh yeah, Kieran, I already did that as well. I don't know how it happened. What was I saying? Someone, please remind me what I was saying. I apologize. Someone remind me because I actually, I forgot, man. I forgot. Someone remind me in the chat box real quick. Well, what was I saying? Let's see who was really listening. Talking to someone after a year. Yeah, exactly. So it's like now that you're going through that process and you've kind of hit them up on the directive thing. Like you've told them that you're working on something big, but you said, yo, listen, but let's catch up real quick first. It's authentic. They know that you're there to show them something, but they also know that you actually care about them and you're ready to have a conversation. Right? That's one way of approaching things, and that's something that is definitely a very, very powerful way to go ahead and approach that, right? The other way, right? Another way that I like to apply a lot. By the way, this specific way that I'm about to break down right now, it applies to random people on Instagram that you never spoken to before. It applies to people that you just haven't spoken to in a while, and that kind of stuff. Because there's different approaches. You can be direct and call them like that, or alternatively, right? Oh yeah. Also, by the way, on a side note, one thing I'll say as well is like, when you're doing that, you're saying, yo, listen, like, I came across something big, blah, blah, blah. Like, give them a compliment in terms of why it is that you're even putting them, yo, listen, I came across something big, and I know you've always been hungry. I know you've always been money hungry, so I needed to show you this. But anyways, before that, let's catch up, because yeah, it's been ages. Something like that, right? Something like that. But the other approach that you could do, let's say, for example, it's like, you know what? I don't know if I necessarily want to do that approach, or maybe I'm just like, you know what? This specific person, I maybe need to know a little bit more about them, because maybe you don't know much about them to even give them a compliment on anything. Right? If that's the case, what we want to do is you want to do something that I call rekindling the relationship. Because sometimes you think, oh man, like I don't have that many people that I'm proper close to, so I can't necessarily build the business. Because obviously the people that maybe you're close to a bit more, it's like they're more inclined to actually understand them and be like, yeah, cool, like, I'm actually going to check this information out. All right? But one of the things that's interesting is that oftentimes we make more money with strangers than we do with our best friends, because those inner circle people that we invite, they're not necessarily ready yet. They don't necessarily believe you. Why? Because they see you for where you are rather than where you're going. Right? Somebody you haven't necessarily spoken to for a while, they're seeing you for where you're going, because you're speaking to them with the kind of person you've been able to grow into through this platform. Like, guys, real quick, just if through this platform, right? If you've been in this business for any amount of time and through this platform, you've actually grown as a person, drop a 4 in the chat box. Just drop a 4 in the chat box. See, the 4s just come in flooding, right? I would, even me, just imagine me dropping a 4 as well. Like, definitely 100%. And it's crazy because guess what? Now, like, sometimes the people that you're close to, they don't really see it. Sometimes sometimes they're actually uncomfortable with you growing. Because now it feels like maybe you're going to leave them behind type thing. So it's a bit of a weird kind of energy sometimes. And it's not intentional. Like, it's not anything bad about them or anything like that, but it's just something that sometimes people naturally do, right? But when you're speaking to these people that you haven't necessarily spoken to that much, guess what? They're seeing you for the person you are. They're seeing you for the person you are becoming. They're seeing you for the person in terms of where you're actually going, right? So check this out. Imagine if now, when we're speaking to these people, we rekindle a relationship. How? Right? A 3-step process that I really like to utilize, one that I learned from Asra, is really that number one, right? You hit them up with a message. Right? You hit them up with a message and you say, the first step is give them a reason as to why you're getting in contact with them, right? Give them a reason as to why you're getting in contact with them. What is the percentage of inviting someone on social media? Let's say you prospect 100 random people. I'm guessing you're talking about like the law of averages. I guess it depends on the person. Like honestly, let's say for example, this is a sign. I'll get back to the one I was saying in a sec. Someone asked the question of, okay, cool, if I reach out to 100 people, like how many people will reply? All right, let me tell you something. It's not about like how many people are going to reply, or it's not about like how many people do I need to speak to. It's just about understanding that you're going to speak to people until you get the replies. You're going to speak to people until you get people in your business, until you get the people that are thinking the same way that you're thinking, until you get the people that are saying, yo, like, I'm ready to go 6 figures, right? Because I can't really necessarily tell you an exact number because it is going to vary depending on your page. If you have a page that, I was going to say dead, but I'm not even going to necessarily say that. But let's say, for example, you have a page that isn't necessarily on the same level as someone else. Like, I don't know, let's say your page isn't on the level as like Kieran, right? Kieran's page is wavy, Jazz's page is wavy, Mario's page is wavy, right? Daniel's page is wavy, right? Let's say, for example, your page isn't necessarily at the same level as these guys' pages, right? Guess what? It means that maybe your law of averages might be a little bit lower, right? When we speak about the law of averages, it's basically the concept that you might speak to 10 people, Santa's page is wavy, right? Santa's page is wavy. You might speak to 10 people, and let's say, for example, 3 of them might reply. 3 of them might get started in the business. Like, there's a lot of averages thing. I'm not going to speak about that too much today. But basically, right, again, it depends on your page. I can't really tell you a number. The best thing to do is to go through the numbers and find out yourself. One person can reach to 100 of the same exact people that you reached out to. They can get 1 response. But guess what? Just because your page isn't necessarily the same level as Kieran's yet, or isn't necessarily the same level as Yasin's yet, or isn't necessarily the same level as, I don't know, Reem's yet, right? It doesn't mean that your page can't get to that level, but it also doesn't mean that you can't actually introduce more people to the business than Reem. Because let's say, for example, Reem is speaking to 10 people and you're speaking to 100, and Reem's law of averages is like 3 out of 10, and your law of averages is like whatever, right? If you just speak to more people, you can make up in numbers what you lack in skill, right? So just go through the numbers, because understand that there's going to be some people that are ready. There's going to be some people that are open, right? I remember when my page was so dead, right? Even now, it's still obviously growing and growing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like an amazing page or whatever, but I'm saying that when my page was even deader than it is now, right? Literally, boy, people were still getting started. And I was like, damn, like, that's crazy. Like, how people getting started like that? Damn, like, it's kind of, doesn't really make sense, but it's because people were open. Like, people were open to actually understanding that, wow, like, I actually want to make money, right? So when they saw that there was an opportunity to do so, they did, right? But anyways, going back to the conversation of rekindling relationships, right? By the way, if you guys are understanding that in terms of the fact that it's not about how many people out of XYZ amount of people are going to get started, it's just about the fact that there are like millions of people in London, millions of people, hundreds of millions of people around the world. You just need 500 to get started to chairman. Like, wait, is anyone else realizing that? Like, is anyone else realizing that? Damn, like, I'm just, this starts here. I'm like, what? So you're telling me that there's like 8 million, I don't know the number to be, it doesn't really matter. There's like 8 million or something, 7 million, whatever, people in London. And you're saying in order to hit chairman, in order to make 6 figures a year, in order to make 10K per month, and imagine when you're investing into your trading account as well. Let's not even speak about that right now. But it's like, 500? You don't need to help 500 people. Like, literally understand that this is a value. Like, literally, there's 500 people that before you introduced them to the business, they didn't have hope in it. They didn't know where they were going. They didn't have a vision. How many of us before this platform didn't have a vision? I didn't really have a vision like that before I got involved in this industry, right? And this platform gave me that, right? But anyways, I keep digressing. Let's go back to the rekindling relationships aspect, right? So, check this out. Number 1, give a reason as to why you're getting in contact. What does that mean? That means, let's say, for example, with somebody you know from secondary school. Wow, you might, for example, drop a voice note, or it might be a message, whatever. I like to use voice notes a lot, you know what I'm saying? Because I show people the energy or whatever it is, right? You know what I'm saying? But let's say, for example, it's a message, whatever it is, right? You might say, yo, let's say, for example, their name's Alex, and you were speaking to Charlie, and Charlie was a friend of Alex. Yo, Alex, this is crazy. Like, I was just speaking to Charlie, and it made me think of you. That's the reason why you're getting in contact with them. Because when you mess them, you say, hey, how you doing? They're thinking, what? Like, why did you even think about me? That's bare weird. Like, what the flip? Like, as in, that's kind of, what does he want? Right? But if you give them the reason as to why you're getting in contact with them, it's cool. Right? Step number 2 is you want to find a way to connect. Right? A way to connect can be something you have in common, or it could be a compliment. It could be maybe they used to play basketball. Bro, you know what? I remember you used to smash it in basketball. It could be that they always used to have good, bro, I remember you always used to have good energy. It could be that they were always killing it in their exams. Bro, I remember you always top of the class, right? It could be that maybe they're acting. Maybe they love acting and you also like acting, right? So you're like, bro, you know what? Like, it's crazy because I remember you always used to act. I've recently been getting onto acting myself as well. Something you have in common, or it can be a compliment, right? So again, step number 1, give a reason as to why you're getting in contact, right? Step number 2, find a way to connect. Something you have in common or a compliment, right? Step number 3 is going to be ask a question. Right? Ask a question. And when it comes down to the question, it doesn't have to be directly about business, right? You literally just want to ask a question that allows for a conversation, right? Ask a question that allows for a conversation. Because now the focus, if you're going to do this approach, it's obviously slightly a bit longer than just inviting them directly. So it's kind of up to you. You can kind of mix and match whatever it is, right? But let's say, for example, you're doing this approach. When you ask that question, doesn't matter what it could be. Let's say, for example, let me think of another example. Someone that maybe you know from an old job. Maybe you're working in some plumbing site, and I don't know. Okay, cool. Yo, hey, yo, this, I don't know. Like, let's say, for example, the name's Alex again. I don't know why Alex is coming to my head. It means that I need to go on Instagram and search up Alex and see what's good because someone wants to get started called Alex. Anyways, let's say, for example, it's someone that's in plumbing. You're like, yo, Alex, this is crazy, man. I was just speaking to my uncle about plumbing, and it reminded me of our old job back when we were doing plumbing, right? It's actually, man, I remember how hard you always worked, man. Like, how's everything going, man? Like, what's life been saying? I just had to reach out because we haven't spoken in a minute. Like, something like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I say that, then they're not really so much thinking. They might be a little bit defensive, but more so, they're not really thinking so much, what does this guy want? Because you've given them the reason as to why you're getting in contact, right? What if they give a reply that's kind of dead / not really replyable to you? Yo, I don't even know if I should answer that question. For me personally, if the energy's dead, I'm not even continuing the conversation. But I'm not saying that you should do that. I don't know. For me personally, I don't even know if I should say that. Sometimes I just block. Like, if the energy's too there, I'll just block people. But like, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying to do that. I block. Oh my days! I was having a conversation with Kev earlier. Shout out to Kev. Like, literally, I was telling her about, like, there was some guy, his energy was just dead, so I just blocked him. But like, you don't have to do that. I'm not saying to do that. I'm not recommending it. It's just, I don't know. But if the energy is dead and it's not replyable to you, and you message them, then guess what? Why would you want to continue the conversation? Type thing. Because if the energy is dead, then why? But obviously, at the same time, understand sometimes people aren't necessarily intending for the energy to be dead. They're just, I don't know. Like, so if you want to kind of go through that, that's cool. But I really listen a lot to energy because I understand that you don't need that person to join your business. Like, it's not that deep. Like, as in, you're helping them out. Think about it this way. Let's say, for example, right, I said to you, listen, I'm going to give you 10K, right? I'm going to give you 10K per month, right? And I'm also going to give this person that you're inviting to the business 10K per month if you can just get them onto a call, right? And they can't know what it is and that kind of stuff. Guess what? If you message them and their energy is dead, are you going to really force them to hop on a call when you know that they're going to make 10K per month? No. You're just going to move on to the next person. Yo, listen, I was about to hook you on the opportunity. The crazy thing about it is that this is an opportunity that's worth so much more than 10K per month. Like, yeah, cool, we get excited about 10K per month now and all that kind of stuff, but yo, y'all already know that, like, there's more money to be made, right? So it's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's what I would say to that, right? But again, you asked the question, and during that conversation, one thing that I would say as well, this is a key perspective to have, right? This is a key perspective to have, right? Sometimes, see, people are so focused on, like, I just want to invite this person to the business. I just want to invite this person to the business. I just want to invite this person to the business. But what if you ask yourself a different question? What if you ask yourself, I need to find out why this person needs the business? Not, I just want to invite this person, because then your energy ain't going to be right here on yourself. Because you're going to be hitting them up on some desperate kind of vibe. No. Imagine if you're having a conversation because you genuinely want to find out why not if they need it. Everyone needs the business, right? Everyone can benefit from the business at least. Whether that's, sure, there's so many different reasons. They might not have money. They might not have time. They might just be unhappy. in anything. They might need a community of people that actually care about them. They might be around so many snakes. They might be wanting to learn a new skill. They might be bored at home, like whatever it is, right? So we obviously understand that, okay, cool. Like we understand there's all this value. So again, like we're not necessarily going to focus so much on really kind of continuing a conversation if that's the case. But basically, that's the 3-step process in terms of rekindling the relationship. Oh yeah, the other thing I was saying was that we want to make sure that we're counseling. Right? We want to make sure that we're counseling in this business. I kind of lost my train of thought, but we want to make sure we're counseling because, again, what a lot of people do, they just focus on just inviting directly, forcing the invite. You want to find out why they need to be invited, right? One thing I learned from our bro Daniel, he said, listen, now what you want to do is you really want to make sure that you're identifying their goal and attaching their goal to the invite. So you want to identify their goal and attach their goal to the invite. So during this conversation, that's the focus of the conversation. Some people say, oh, like, what do I speak about in the conversation? Yo, don't be speaking about rubbish. Like, don't, oh man, yo, by the way, yo, did you watch EastEnders? Yo, did you watch this? Yo, listen, that is not a productive conversation. Right? Don't trick yourself into thinking that's a productive conversation because you're speaking to someone that isn't. No, no, right? If you're speaking about, yo, okay, cool. Anyways, like, well, what have you been up to? Oh, what, you've been doing this? Oh, swear down, that's mad. Like, how long you been doing that for? Oh yeah, I've been doing this for X, Y, Z amount of time. Bro, oh, sick. You must love it then. Now that's lit. So what, is that what you're looking to do for the rest of your life? Like, is that like your long-term plan? Oh, no, man, you know what? I'm looking to do this, that. Now, just from the questions that you're asking, you're starting to learn more about the fact that they're not necessarily happy with what they're doing. You're starting to learn more about the fact that maybe they don't have enough money, maybe they don't have enough time, maybe whatever it is, but you're identifying why they need this business. As soon as you identify that goal, now you have enough to invite them, right? You can either invite them straight there and there, and just say, wow, this is crazy. Like, that's actually mad. Like, and just invite them. Or you could even hit them up. Like, you can hit them up the next day or something. So what I like to recommend, if you're rekindling a relationship and you haven't spoken to them for a while, you might even, if they haven't asked you, because sometimes they'll ask you, right? But if they haven't even necessarily asked you yet, you can hit them up the next day and be like, yo, you know what? This might seem random, but I was thinking about the conversation that we were having. In terms of how you want to do this, in terms of how you're speaking about how, like, you're not necessarily focusing on wanting to do that job for the rest of your life. And it's crazy because obviously, you know, like, I've been learning to make money online and that kind of stuff. And by the way, going back to the topic of authenticity, if, for example, you're new in a business or anything like that, and you necessarily haven't had that level of success that you're looking to have yet, or you haven't had necessarily any level of success yet, then guess what? In terms of financial success, obviously there's different types of success, but don't be saying, oh, yeah, like, I'm going to show you how to make money, or like, I don't know, like, I've been making all this money. No, keep it authentic. You don't need to lie to anyone. Like, literally, just let people know I've been learning to make money online. Let people know, you're like, when they ask you what you're doing, tell them don't say, oh, I'm a full-time trader. No, because if you're not a full-time trader, if you're not doing this full-time, don't say that. There's no need, right? If for example, you're I don't know, you're working in a club, right? You're working in a club. I actually work in a club now. But it's crazy because I've realized how sick and tired I am. I'm getting out of this job by the end of the year, right? I'm actually learning how to make money online right now. Then you continue with the conversation. Then when you go back the next day, yo, you know how we're having that conversation yesterday? I know this might seem random, but I was speaking about how you were saying yourself that you want to leave your job. How you were saying yourself that you're unhappy with what you're doing. And obviously I told you that I'm actually working on something big myself in terms of making money online. And I was just thinking, you know what? You would actually crush it. Like, you would actually smash it in what I'm doing right now. Like, do you actually keep your options open when it comes down to making money on the side? Or do you only just want to, like, stay working in Tesco for the rest of your life? Like, what is it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're just having a genuine conversation, right? And now, guess what? Most of the time, this is where, by the way, your law of averages goes up. So it's not just about your page on Instagram, but it's also about how you speak to people. Some people, they speak to people like robots. Like, they're like, hey, do you want to make money? Come on now. Like, maybe if you speak to 1,000 people, someone might get started, but it's like, have genuine conversations. Speak to people like people. So that, yeah, cool, it's a business and all that kind of stuff, but understand that it's a business of people. People want to speak to an actual person, so speak like an actual person, right? Speak like an actual person. Guys, just real quick, just as a check-in. So far, if I'm making sense, real quick, just drop a 5 in the chat box. If this is actually genuinely adding some kind of value to you, where it's like, you know what, this is actually helping me. This is actually gonna really help me grow. Perfect. So, just checking if there was anything else that I was really going to cover. I know I was going to cover following up as well. Cool. I'll cover that briefly. Jazz, real quick, in the chat box, I mentioned privately or whatever. If you want to just hop on now, but or if not, because I know I was going to hop on cover following up. To be honest, I feel like every single person on the call, hey, one-on-one participants, I feel like every single person on the call, like anyone that really wants to stay on for the full value, like they'll stay on. Say them out, I'll cover it. Say them out. I will. Following up. right? Following up. Understand this, right? Understand this. This is one thing I was supposed to say earlier, right? Sometimes people are out here inviting people to the business, and they haven't even really invited themselves yet. What do I mean? I mean the fact that some people in this school right now don't even understand that they're going 6 figures in trading, which is fine not to understand it yet, but you really need to build that belief for yourself. You really need to understand the fact that, yo, this stuff is real, right? This stuff is real, right? Because you can't close someone else unless if you haven't even closed yourself yet. Some of you haven't even closed yourself on the fact that you're going to be successful. So how can you tell someone else that they're going to be successful if you haven't even told yourself that you're going to be successful, if that makes sense, right? So that's one of the key things. And when we understand that, right? When we understand that, as Aki just said, believe in yourself, man. You got to believe in yourself. And obviously, cool, sometimes it's a process to believe in yourself. Doesn't mean that you have to wait till you believe in yourself before building a business, but just work on that as much as possible, man, 100%. But when it comes down to it, sometimes we get so scared to follow up. Sometimes we'll show someone a business and we're like, you know what? I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I should follow up. I don't know if I should like speak to this person again. Like, I don't know, man. Like, you know what? This person, they said they were going to get started, but I don't want to pester them. Like, I don't want to annoy them. Like, all these different kind of stories that we tell ourselves. And I'm not going to lie, the reason I even know this is because I used to think like this. So everything I'm saying in the school in terms of, some people do this, something, understand that, yo, I was like that before as well, right? I was like that before, right? But now, because I've closed myself even more on this business, and I understand that anyone that speaks, like, as in I speak to directly, they really understand. Like, as in, like, when I have a conversation with someone, like, I hope that they can really understand. If I'm showing someone the business, I'm letting them know, yo, listen, like, you're going to be able to have success in this. Why? Because I know that they will, if they apply themselves. Obviously, if they don't apply themselves, boy, I don't know what to do about that. But if someone's going to put in the work, then they're going to have the success, because why any single person coming and doing this? We got people that are coming in that were homeless before the business that are now making 100K per month. We got people that come in that were just working in, we got people like Mariam who came in, was working in John Lewis, right? Didn't have any experience in trading, didn't have any experience in networking, didn't have any experience in building business, didn't have some mad social influence or anything like that. And now not only she smashed it in trading, like when I say smashing it, I mean, let me not talk, right? But now she's a chairman as well. Now she's in Dubai right now. Lockdown just finished. She was like, yo, I'm getting out, right? And it's crazy because if people like this can come and have the success that they're having, why can't any other person? Do you get what I'm saying? So if that's the case, once we have that, and the reason it's like, oh man, like, well, why is he speaking about this? Right? Yo, because if you don't understand this, you're not gonna follow the actions. You're not gonna follow the actual following up. You're not gonna follow up people because you don't even believe that they're gonna be successful. You have to believe, man. Even if you haven't had the success yourself, see other people that are having success and realize, yeah, cool, this is where we're gonna be. So we're gonna keep that consistent. Jonathan and Zara, wait. Two people are one team. Shout out to you, man. But anyways, literally, so what? That's why we need to follow up. So now I'm more savage with it. I'll follow up with someone multiple times because at the end of the day, sometimes they want to be ready the first time. We have to understand, right? Check this out. Sometimes we get so frustrated when someone doesn't get started right there. Yo, listen, make sure this person gets started right here, right there on the school. No. Like, yeah, some people, they're ready and they're able to because, like, they're at a certain level of thinking where, like, they're kind of ready to take the information in. But if someone has gone through all this programming in their life, right, that they're so conditioned to be scared of things like this, they're so conditioned to think that it's not going to work, all their friends are telling them it's a scam, all throughout their whole life, sometimes people genuinely are just not, like, their head just isn't ready to actually take it yet, right? So it's like sometimes they actually need some kind of following up. They need some kind of following up. Because if not, they were never going to get started, right? So when 100%. So what happens is that when you go ahead and follow up with them, now their mind is starting to get more and more open, right? More and more open, right? How do you follow up? Different ways you can follow up, right? I recommend sending them, like, sure, there's different things you can do. You can maybe send them some kind of value. You can maybe catch up with them. Don't follow up like a robot. Don't be like, hey, are you ready to get started yet? Don't be like, hey, bro. Like, you know them ones where it's just like, hey, bro. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, what do you want? Like, where do we go from here? Type thing. Like, don't be that person, right? Get to the point with the message that you're sending them. Maybe like, yo, like I haven't heard. Let's say, for example, someone was supposed to get started on a certain day and they haven't got started yet. What I will normally do is I'll say something like, I'll be like, yo, like, as in, yo, like, I would check up on them because, yo, you don't understand. Some people, something happened to them. You got, again, we're dealing with people in this game. We're not dealing with just numbers. Understand that, guys, right? So someone, they could have had an accident, like something could happen to their family. Sometimes we hit someone up like, oh, how come she didn't hop on the call, blah, 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 blah. But we don't realize that their grandma died or something. Sometimes things like that happen. So when checking out, you want to genuinely make, they might have not got started on the day that they said they want to get started, but check up and see if they're good. So I would hit them up and be like, I actually never heard from you the day that you said you were going to get started. I just wanted to make sure you actually were good. Is everything good at home and stuff like that? I asked them that. And then once they reply and they say they're good, sometimes people actually say that a madness happened. I'm like, I heard that, right? But let's say, for example, they're good, and it's like, hey, sick. And then you could maybe start having a bit more of a conversation about the business, right? But you don't want to talk about the business every single time you follow up with them. Do you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you just follow up, you just add some kind of value to them. You add some kind of energy to them. You add some kind of, maybe you send them a video that you've watched. Like I know, for example, Kieran, sometimes I see him sending the secret to people. Not the secret, the strangest secret by Nightingale. Like he sends that video to people. It's like, you can send different things to people, something that people are going to relate to. Personally, if I'm sending a video for a follow-up, I only like to send someone a video that's like 5 minutes long, because I feel like people have like a smaller attention span or whatever. But whatever you're sending people, send them some kind of value. But just the most important thing, it's just to make sure they remember that you're there. Because you'll find that sometimes people are going to be ready, but they'll sign up with someone else because they forgot about you. Like they forgot. It's happened to me on multiple occasions because I wasn't following up, right? So make sure, just follow up. How frequently, that's the last thing I'm going to speak about before I hand over to the main man. How frequently do you want to follow up, right? One thing that I learned from Jason Brown is that you literally want to double the follow-up time each time. So let's say, for example, you spoke to them today, you want to follow up with them maybe tomorrow. Right? Then you want to follow up with them maybe 2 days after that. Then you want to follow up with them maybe 4 days after that. Then you want to follow up with them maybe 8 days after that, on average, right? For me personally, to be honest, I don't really like follow a structure like that. I just like let's say, for example, I see something, I'm like, you know what? Like people that aren't in the business would actually take value from this, and they might open their mind a bit more. I'll just send this to all of them. I'll send this to like a loads of people, a bunch of people. I'm like, this person will relate to this person will relate to this. Sometimes there'll be specific things that I think, this person will relate to this person, and I just send them things. I just send them value. It might be on Instagram, it might be whatever it is. So that's what I do. That's what I do personally. I send them value. And here and there, I'll check up. Here and there, I'll be like, you know what? I just feel like, when are we actually getting you started again? Like, I remember, you're about to crush it, man. We've actually got a game plan ready for you. When are we doing this? When are we really doing this? It's time. Sometimes people just need someone to tell them that it's time, right? Sometimes people just need someone to tell them that it is time, right? But listen, guys, with that being said, it's time. It's time for me to go ahead and bring on something, you know what I'm saying? A little something. But listen, real quick, just before I bring the next speaker on, just so I kind of know if you guys genuinely got value from that. If you did, and if you feel like that's something that actually you did need and really helps you, just drop anything you want in the chat. The reason why I say anything you want is because after this call, you guys are going to be able to get anything you want. Like really and truly, especially after the next speaker. Because what the next speaker is going to go through, he's going to go through some of the things that are going to allow you to get anything you want, right? And it's going to allow the people that you're introducing to the business to get anything that they want as well. Right? It's about to be mad. Listen, the next speaker that I'm about to bring on, this is my bro right here. This my guy. I'm getting guys. I mean, I can't even believe that I'm actually able to bring this individual on. This is someone who actually inspires me on a regular basis, man. Like some of the conversations we have him, it's crazy because we speak a lot. It's just like, man, like, we have these crazy paradigm shifts. We have these crazy perspectives. So sometimes we just share things with each other. We're like, you know what? I learned this. And sometimes he'll hit me up, bro, you know what? I learned this. And it's like, I really, really appreciate this individual so much. And he's someone who's really not, okay, cool, he's an amazing person. Cool, he's a real G. Cool, that's my bro. But at the end of the day, he's someone who is crushing it when it comes down to this business. He's someone who's been through challenges in this business. He's someone who's been through challenges specifically relating to the solutions that he's about to give you today, because he's been through the problems already. So the fact that he's on this call today, about to go platinum 5,000 soon, because I see him running. I see him in the trenches. I see him serving. Right? I see him helping people elevate. So guess what? When you see that P5,000 flyer drop, don't be surprised when you see Mr. Jazz Lau P5,000. Yo, Jazz. Yo, let me find you. Let me find you and unmute, because like, guys, by the way, real quick, if you were taking notes on me, it's fine. Like, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not taking notes on Jazz, I'm going to personally be offended. Because that really, I'm not even going to be, I'm just going to be like, damn, man, like, I feel sorry for you. But anyways, let's go. I'm going to hand over to Mr. Jazz.
Amazing. Cool. Shai, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Let me spotlight your video.
Okay, amazing.
Boom.
Amazing. Okay, cool. That's me. Okay, cool. You can see the whiteboard. See the whiteboard. It's all ready. Okay, cool. Before we even get started, let's just I always like to start with gratitude. Yeah, neutral, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it's a bit mad. But yeah, so so always like to start with gratitude. So literally quickly in the chat box or to people that are around you or anything, right? Like just drop like one thing that you're grateful for. Just quickly one thing that you're grateful for. Can't lie, I gotta say the barber in it. I can't lie, the barber came through. But yeah, so jokers. Okay, cool. So okay, cool. Yeah, I've got my notes like right up there. So yeah, like with everything that Shai went through, beautiful. Okay, beautiful. It's gonna get you into a position where you can it will get you to a position where you can take opportunity, right? However, you need to take they always say curiosity will get you opportunity, right? But action inside the opportunity, will get you success. Okay, so the first thing that you guys need to know, okay, cool. So now Shai's taught you how to prospect. Shai's taught you, okay, cool, like you're gonna be able to prospect in all these different ways, and you'll be able to get people you'll be able to get people onto Zoom calls and present the business to them, right? So and one key thing that Shai went over was intentional. I'm gonna cover that. That's gonna be the last one that I cover. But going forward, so what do we do now? Right? What do we do? Ikra is great for everybody, right? What do we do now that we have like, okay, we know how to prospect, okay? And it's something that I've been utilizing, something that I'm not even too sure if Santa Malik's on the call, but like I know she's running for P2, so yeah, like she came out, she was the one that told me about it. I'm pretty sure Des Chairman 25 was the first person that I heard it from, but it was the idea of business launches, okay? The idea of business launches. So the way a business launch works is you're gonna do a Zoom call, right? With your I'm gonna just use like the terms that they don't really mean much, but like as in you're gonna do a Zoom call with your upline, right? Just for you, okay? And the reason why is because you need to treat this, just like it's any other business, right? Most people, they start treating it like it's a bit of a different business that you guys okay, cool, you got a bit more freedom around it, so you can do what you want, right? But imagine this, right? Imagine if you were gonna launch like let's just say you were launching a restaurant, right? Let's say you start up a new restaurant, right? I'm not too sure if anyone does own a restaurant, but let's say you opened a brand new restaurant, right? How many people would you invite to its opening? Right? How many people would you invite to its opening? You literally tell everyone about it. I still remember when my barber opened his first shop, not only did he get me to come down, right? He told me bring 3 of your friends, right? He taprooted me, even though he doesn't know what that means. Okay. But that's exactly what he did, because he wanted to make sure that there was as many people as possible down at at his launch, right? At his barbershop launch. So, with this, we're gonna do a launch for your business, right? When I say we, I mean you and your upline are gonna do a launch for your business, right? So after this call, go to your Platinum 1000 Plus upline, right? Or if you're a Platinum 1000 yourself, launch your own business, right? Or go just find someone to launch your business, right? What you're gonna do, it's very quick and very simple. You're gonna make a poster for yourself, right? You're gonna set a date and a time. So let's say Sunday at 8 p.m. We're doing a business launch on Sunday at 8 p.m. right? So now let's say my business launch was on Sunday at 8 p.m. What I'm gonna start doing now, I'm gonna start sharing my poster. Okay, I'm gonna put it on social media. The first thing that I do, and again, people have different strategies about this, but it's never really about the strategy, more about the mindset behind it, because the physical is only 10%. But the first thing that I'm gonna do is gonna be, I'm gonna put it on Instagram, right? When I put it on Instagram, I'm gonna do a poll. In the first position, it's gonna be save me a space, right? In the first position, it's gonna be save me a space. In the second position, it's gonna be more info, right? Second position is gonna be more info, right? You might be thinking, what do I do? What do I do with that information afterwards, right? What do you use to make the poster? Yeah, you can use anything like Jonathan Tete is an expert in this. But Canva, we use an app called Canva. Taha's there. Yeah, Canva, right? So, but anyways, damn, I lost my track. Oh yeah, cool. So what do you do next, right? So you put it up. Now you got your 2 options. Okay. So personally, this is what I let people know. This is what I get people to do, right? And I do myself. I will, let's say they click more. Let's say they click save me a space. I'm gonna send them a message directly saying, your space is confirmed, right? But just to double confirm it, you know, click on this link here, right? So the link that I'm going to send them, is going to be on WhatsApp Business, right? So this is, so I can't tell if you can see that, but go on WhatsApp Business, right? You go on settings, click on business tools, and it should say short link, right? And then when you copy and paste it, it will set up a what's it called? It will set up a chat between you guys, right? It will set up a chat between you guys, right? So I'll send it to them. I'm like, yeah, cool. So your safe is reserved, but just to double confirm it, you know, just message me your full name, right, on this link. This is just gonna open up a chat between us on WhatsApp. So I'll voice note that. Right, I'll voice note that bit. Shout out to Jonathan for actually, you know, introducing, you know, WhatsApp Business to me, right? It's a free app on the App Store if you guys don't know what it is, right? So that's what I'm gonna do, right? If they click more info, and the reason why I do that is because it's gonna help people be, it will help you filter out who's serious and who's unserious. Because as in like the people that don't message you, then that's fine, right? But then, and I always have a guest list as well. I always have a guest list that I keep, like either a physical one or one on notes, right? Again, Jonathan taught me that, so yeah, like I've learned a lot from this guy, right? But yeah, so if they say more info, I just mention that, hey, I saw you click more info. How can I help? Right? How can I help? If they say, oh, I did it by accident, okay, cool. You know, I'm just gonna be, I'll just continue combo with them, right? I'll just continue combo with them, right? I'll just like, you know, just continue chatting to them. But yeah, so, and then that's gonna, the idea, the effect, right, of that is gonna be, you're gonna filter out the serious from the unserious, right? On Snapchat, I'm just gonna do screenshot for more access, right? Then those people that screenshot, I'm just gonna treat them the same as the people that clicked save me a space, right? So then I'll message them and be like, look, you know, here's my WhatsApp link. Your space is reserved, but you know, just double confirm it by sending me your full name there, right? And most of the time, it makes you seem more official. It makes you operate more like a business, right? But the second thing that you need to do is you taproot, right? You taproot. So you're gonna share the poster with your friends, right? Share your poster with people that support you, because when they see your face on a poster, right? When they see your face on a poster, they're more likely, more inclined to share it, because it's like as in no one wants to be the person that, like, I'm looking at Nathan right now, right? So like no one wants to be the person, like let's say Nathan and Macro, right? Just started in the business, right? Like no one wants to be the person that didn't believe in him, because like why, like eventually when he's successful, you're just gonna feel like egg, right? So more than likely, when I message people, I'm like, yo, can you okay, man, that's when you what's it called? When can you put this up for me, right? And they'll put it up and they'll tag me. So I remember Macan did a business launch, and he had like 50 people roughly share his poster. So not only did his poster get coverage, his account got more coverage, which is why it's really important to you know, it's really important to have like a good branded Instagram. So like again, for Instagram, like mine is really the best. I look at Zara's is really good, Mariam's good, you know, Yasin's really good, Daniel, like all of these people, they have really good Instagram. So like I just try and duplicate those, right? But yeah, so that's what I do in terms of business launch, right? But the reason why, right, it's very important, right, is because it's gonna make you execute a little bit more. Like as in, because when there's a normal Zoom call, right? So let's say we do a Zoom call tomorrow for all 100 of us, right? People have I can't remember what I learned it from Daniel. I learned from Daniel's psychology course, but it's something like, you know, because there's more people feel less responsible to invite, because they're like, oh, it's fine, because there's still going to be guests on the call because other people are going to be invited, right? But when you do it for yourself, then you have to actually show up. And I remember when Daniel did a Zoom call for me, I had to make sure that I packed that out. And I had like 20 guests on there, and out of those 20 guests, I'm pretty sure like 4 of them got started, which was, you know, brilliant. And one of them was a piece of 100 right now. So yeah, like it's all good, right? But like it forces you to execute, right? But the other thing that you need to realize as well, the one like my ideology behind, you know, execution is like, it's like I don't need a guarantee to execute, as in like, I should be executing regardless, because if I don't, like as in like I don't really like, I should be in the 95%. If I need a guarantee, I'm like I should be in the 95%, right? In the 5%, you know, things are a little bit different. So, you know, I will execute regardless, right? But when you're struggling to execute, okay, you need to understand that there's someone out there, right, who you have probably prejudged, right? So again, even when I'm you know, giving out the plan of the posters, right? You know, sometimes in the past I was prejudging people. I was like, yo, this person won't put it up, right? this person won't put it up, right? Just make sure that you actually, just make sure that you share it to every single person, right? Get them to repost, because you never know who knows the next show, right? You never know who knows the next show, right? It's just facts. Cool. Plan of action. Yeah, so that's like a business launch, right? So what I want you to do after this call, right? Go back to your Platinum 1000 upline, right? Go back to your Platinum 1000 upline. Not too sure who that's going to be, right? It might be me, right? But go back to your Platinum 1000 upline and book a business launch, right? Book a business launch. And one thing that I also know is if you do, on average, if you do about 23 calls with the right intention, you're probably going to end up being a Platinum 150. Three to 4 people probably get started. 3 to 5 people, I'd say, will get started, depending on your averages, right? And that's just the average that I've worked out. Like, for most people, after they do 23 calls, P150 straight, right? P150 straight away, right? The next thing I want to talk about, it's very important that we do business launches. It's very important that we, grow the business, right? But if we can't maintain the business, then there's no point growing it, right? It doesn't even make sense to grow it, right? So I'm going to talk about retention, okay? There's 3 P's of retention. The first P is profits, okay? So the 3 P's of retention. The first P is profits. I'm going to explain these in a little bit, right? Actually, no, I'll explain as I go on, because some people take more notes, right? So profits, right? How are people, like, the first reason why people are going to stay in your business is going to be because of the money that they can make, right? How is someone going to make money, right? How is someone going to make money, right? So there's 2 things. So the first thing is going to be go live. So obviously, if you guys were on Manny's session, right, then you guys probably caught the gold trade, and you guys probably smiling right now, right? But like, that's the first way. They're going to copy and paste from go live, right? What's the second way? They're going to copy and paste from products. Okay, so that's how you're gonna get someone profits. Okay, whether we demo or live, that's like dependent on them, because some people are more confident, some people go into live quicker, some people will take a little bit longer, right? That's fine. But as long as you get them profits, right, you get them results, that's good. Okay, that's the first thing, right? But that's more of a physical aspect. Okay, and like we constantly say, the physical is only 10%, right? The second thing is gonna be personal development. So when we talk about personal development, it's like they should be plugging into personal development every single day, right? And I'm not going to tell you to, all of a sudden now after school, start doing like an hour a day or 2 hours a day, right? Because I don't like the word unrealistic, but you guys are probably not going to stay consistent, because you got to understand, right? Yeah, mornings with Nino, that's good. Yeah, like, you guys got to understand that, like, with let's say, like, with this business, right? Like, you need to build things up, right? My mentor gave me this old analogy. It's a pebble analogy, right? So those of you guys that got started with me, Kyle, Jonathan, you guys might remember this, right? But the analogy was basically that, let's say for example, there were 2 people, right? They were filling up a bathtub with pebbles, right? The first individual, they fill it up, they put 100 in one day, right? But they get tired, right? They don't do anything for the next couple weeks, right? The other person, they start doing 1 a day, right? And after they do 1 a day, when 1 becomes easy, they start doing 2 a day. Right? And when they do 2 a day, that becomes easy. They do 3 a day, and then they do more and more and more. And eventually, they're going to fill up the bathtub quicker, because their level of execution is more consistent, right? It's the exact same thing with personal development. Like, you don't need to do an hour a day straight away, right? Start off by doing 10 minutes a day. Start off by doing 10 minutes a day. When 10 minutes feels easy, do 20 minutes a day. When 20 minutes feels easy, do 30 minutes a day, right? There have been days recently where I've been listening to personal development for like 4 or 5 hours in a day, right? Because it's become easy, but I didn't start there. Like, everyone started down here, right? I started with 10 minutes a day because I found it very difficult. And then when it became easier, I kept on doing more, right? But TC and IM also do provide personal development. TC and IM also provide you personal development. So on Mondays at 10 p.m. Wait, what's today? Today's Friday. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. Today's Friday, right? So on Mondays at 10 p.m. there's Shai's Mindset Call, right? That's a form of personal development, right? On Thursdays at 10 p.m. At 9 p.m. there's Bob Proctor, right? So Bob Proctor calls. That is another form of personal development. So Shay, can you let me know if we've got 5 minutes left, or if it just goes on? Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So again, with that, you just have to plug them into personal development, because the most personally developed people, right, they're gonna be the ones that win. Right, like, as in some people are doing spiritual success calls. That's amazing, right? Some people doing private private personal development calls. That's amazing, right? Even though I've got something planned soon as well, not just yet, but soon coming, right, for personal development. right? And I just want you guys to realize the power of it, because, I think, David Nietzsche, he actually says this thing. I listened to like audios overnight, right? So I woke up in the middle of the night and I was hearing this, I was listening to this one audio, and he was like, look, if you haven't got the results that you want, right, you don't need to look further than the inside, right? Not in those exact words, but he was basically saying, if you haven't got the results that you want, it's probably because you're thinking about it the wrong way. And if you're thinking about it the wrong way, then you're probably hearing the wrong things and seeing the wrong things, right? And when I say seeing, like, as in, it might be with your actual eyes, or with, your mind, right? With your visualization, right? So with that, you need to then hear the right things, right? And you need to see and say the right things, right? How do you hear the right things? You say the right things, right? How do you see the right things? Like the TEC chat, that will show you the right things. Being on Go Live, that will show you the right things, right? So with that stuff, I really understood that, you have to see the right things, but at the same time, not see 100 things that are opposing what you want, right? I genuinely think it probably takes about one bad thing, one bad, let's say one like negative thing that you see or say, it probably takes about 10 positive words or images to replace that, right? To like even out the balance, because negative energy is very very heavy, right? That's why I stay away from those negative people. Those people that say, I don't know why like those people that tell me that you can't do it, like, I don't talk to them, right? I don't talk to them. Doesn't matter if they're my family. It doesn't matter who it is, right? I'm not gonna talk to them. There's no way, because I can't be hearing that stuff, because I'm going P5, I'm going C10, right? I'm helping my squad go up as well, right? And trading and all sorts. I can't be hearing someone telling me their beliefs about themselves, right? But the last thing I'm actually gonna wrap up on, right? It's actually similar to what 3 P's, right? The last one is people, right? People. I got sidetracked. People. So where are people gonna be? So people gonna be in the Telegram chat, in the TC chat, right? So this is why it's very important to be active in the TC chat. I know there's also like another squad on here, so obviously the I Am Evolution chat, right? The reason why it's very important to be active there is because you have to understand that when you're in this business, right? The thing that will comfort you the most is going to be finding someone who you relate to. Okay, finding someone who you relate to, like, as in, if I could, let's say, I found someone if I found someone with the same trim as me, right, which I actually did when I first started in the business, right, like, it made me feel more comfortable. Not only that, if I found someone who was, who wanted to do what I wanted to do back then, like, it made me feel more comfortable, right, because I was seeing someone who I related to who was already successful, right? But where are you going to find that? You're going to find that in the TC chat. And this is like, people make their separate group chats, which is absolutely calm. But you got to understand that there's a strength in numbers, right? And when I'm talking about chats, I don't mean channels, I mean actual chats. Like, just be looking in the TC chat. Speaking in the TC chat, there's a Chairman 100 in there. There's 2 Chairman 10s, right? There's a P5 in there, right? Soon to be 2 P5s, right? And multiple P2s, right? There's so many P1s, right? There's 4-figure traders, 5-figure traders, 6-figure traders, right? You have people that are successful literally at your fingertips, but you're just not utilizing it. So just make sure you're active in that chat. Make sure you're speaking in that chat. And I don't know why it's the law. I don't know why this is the law, right? I don't know why this is the law, but the people that speak the most in the chat tend to be the ones that have the most success as well, right? It doesn't. I can't explain that to you, but just do it. Like, isn't like this is like Daniel couldn't explain to me when I first started, but it just worked, right? It just worked, right? So those are the 3 P's of retention, right? If you have all 3, you're gonna have a business that retains. You're gonna have people that are profiting, right? You're gonna have personally developed team members. You're gonna have people who you're gonna have relatable team members, right? So you're gonna have all 3. You're gonna have all 3, and people are gonna feel like a community, right? People are gonna feel like a community. So that's very important in terms of retention. I actually learned that from Jason Agbodza, right? Platinum 5000 in Traders Empire. So shout out to him. Last thing. Okay, cool. Last thing, right? You attract who you are. Okay, I got it on my wall somewhere as well. Right? You attract who you are, not what you want. Right? You gotta understand this, because a lot of people they don't get this, and they'll say that they'll put yes in the school, right? They'll start writing it down, but they'll just completely forget it, right? I was on the phone to someone today, one of my friends, right, in the business, and they were like, when I find these 2 people, then I'm gonna be calm, but until then I'm stressed, right? It not like don't do that. Like, let me explain. I'm gonna share a couple personal anecdotes of mine, right? So my first let's say special friend, right? This person was very short, okay, right? Very immature. I used to think, why is this person very immature? The reason why was because I was also immature. Okay, right? So, and you just have to understand that, right? Because you can only ever attract who you are, right? So that's what I attracted. And then, another one of my friends, that person was, very argumentative and hot-headed. And it was because, funnily enough, I was also argumentative and hot-headed, right? And you just have to understand, why would someone want to join you if you're stressed? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would someone want to join you if you're stressed? Like, someone who I really admire, Shai, I admire Shai a lot, in this regard, right? But it actually, like Jonathan, right? Me and Jonathan sat in this very room for February, March, April, June, May, June, like 5 months, okay? 5 months. We did a presentation every single day, okay? And we weren't in the positions that we wanted to be in, but it didn't matter because we knew we were going to be in the position that we wanted to be in, right? Like, it really, like, as in, you have to understand. I want to attract team members who are good leaders. I want to attract good leaders. I want to attract disciplined people, right? I have to be disciplined, right? Does it make sense? Like, as in, if you're a negative person, you're gonna attract negative people into your life because it all works in frequencies, right? Understand? If your frequency's here, right, you're never gonna attract someone who's in this frequency, right? They won't understand you. It's like imagine if each frequency had a different language, right? Your frequency is right here, theirs is up there. You can only speak to people. People on your frequency will understand you perfectly, right? But eventually, you're gonna outgrow them. Okay, when you start leveling up your frequencies, right? That's why it's very important to make sure either you take those people with you, right, or you leave them behind. Like, I think Shai was talking about, one of his close friends was saying to him, one of his close friends was like, this business is a scam, or his last business was a scam, and you shouldn't do it, right? It's because the reason why was because Shai's frequency was up here, he was down here, right? So he couldn't understand what was going on up here. Right, and you just if you understand that, you're gonna be very successful because all you need to do to get into a better position, right? You don't need to look anywhere further than the inside. If you see there's faults on the outside, right, you might be looking on the outside thinking, oh man, I didn't want that to happen, right? I didn't I don't want to go there, right? I don't want these types of people in my life. I don't want this experience, right? If you're sitting there thinking the outside's messed up right now, right, you just need to look on the inside, right? You just need to look on the inside because you can't go, as in, whenever there's a problem on the outside, you don't need to look further than the inside because the inside actually creates the outside, if that makes sense, right? But it's very, if you understand this, right, your internal will create your external, but you can't let your external affect your internal, right? That might have gone over your heads. You may not understand it, right? But your internal, right, is in what you're feeling right now is going to be creating your external soon, okay, right? But when that external may not be the exact same thing that you want, right, or the exact thing that you asked for, or the exact thing that, you wish for or you visualize, right, you can't let that get you down. Like, you just got to know that it's all done, right? You just got to know that it's all done. But, on that note, I hope you guys understood that. I know it took me a while to actually understand that. They actually took me quite a while to understand that, right? But you attract who you are, right? So become the best version of yourself. You're gonna be able to, attract the best team, right? Honestly, you're gonna be able to attract the best team. But on that note, I'm gonna wrap up the call. I think Shai's unmuted. Shai, did you have anything else to say?
Oh, bro, I didn't even realize I was unmuted. Was I unmuted the whole time?
Oh no. That's cool. So, what's it called? Intention. Intention. I think Shai covered that quite well. Literally, I was listening to, actually, to fair, that I'll say that one last thing, right? I listened to an audio called "The Leadership of the 21st Century" by Darren Hardy, right? Leadership of 21st Century by Darren Hardy, and in that audio, when he first made his first list, right, he called it a hit list. He called it a hit list, right? So yeah, like, and he went to his mentor, and his mentor said to him, he was like, "Who wants to be your first hit?" Right? No one wants to be your first hit, right? Instead of writing it as a hit list, write it as the lives of the families that I'm going to change, right? You know, the people whose families lives I'm going to change, right? And you have to believe it, because when you come in with the right intention, right? When you come in with the right intention, everything else will work out, right? But on that note, yeah, plan of action, business launch, right? Plan your business launch with you know, your Platinum 1000 upline, right? Second thing, retention, 3Ps of retention, right? You know, I hope you guys got that. So profits, personal development, people, right? Third thing, you attract who you are, okay? Right? You want a better reality, you know, just improve the inside, right? There is a time lag between the spiritual and the physical. So like, don't worry, like, isn't like, if it doesn't come straight away or overnight, don't worry about it. You know, things get developed daily, not in a day, okay? And the last thing, your intention, just go in with the right intention. Everything will work out. You know, and I'm telling you that now from someone who not necessarily came in with bad intentions, but you know, I've come with, I'm with better intentions now, right? I'm with better intentions now. But you know, on that note, we're gonna wrap up the call. You know, just go back to the TC chat and just drop one thing that you learned, right? One thing that you learned from the school. But I appreciate all of you guys being on the call. You know, let's smash out the weekend, right? We're gonna do so, like, we're gonna see so many promos this weekend. I promise you, we're gonna see so many promos this weekend. But you know, on that note, I'm gonna pass it back to Shai. I'm gonna let Shai wrap it up. But I appreciate all of you guys watching. Thank you very much.
Jeez, yo, damn, son. I can't lie. This whole time I've just been looking at the trim. I'm like, damn, you know what? The trim is looking sharp, you know. Oh boy. Yo, listen, guys, if you guys got some value from that, literally, let's just drop value, right on value in the chat. I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely taking notes myself. Man. Like, shit. Let's go. Listen, let's go back to the group chats right now. Call's finished. We have the call to action. Jazz said, listen, let's all make sure that we go back and we go ahead and, he said, hit up your upline Platinum 1000 or above and arrange that business launch. Let's see who's really actually going to execute the stuff that we've done in this school. We got 84 people that are still remaining. Let's see who really executes. Let's see who's really executing, because I feel like anyone that does execute what Jazz said, yo, there's about to be some promos popping. So let's go back to the group chats and let's just blow it up and let everyone know the value that we took and let everyone know that it's about to go down. Listen, I'm gonna catch y'all soon. Peace. Bye.